Thank you, Senator, and Senator Stabenow and Congressman Murphy right across the border in Pennsylvania. This has been an issue I've been working on with former Congressman Duncan Hunter for several years now. And I just want to make two quick points. As we're trying to bring some honesty and accountability to the housing market, to Wall Street, I think it's important that we don't just do it here in the United States, but we do this in a global context. And if we think that there are subsidies for currencies in other countries that are reducing the cost of products coming to our shores here in the United States, we need to bring some honesty and accountability to that too. So some people say this is not the time. I say this is exactly the time that we need to do something like this, because we can then move on with regulating Wall Street, the housing market, bringing honesty to the credit market, and also honesty and some credibility, I think, to the global currency exchanges that are going on across the world now. We have several examples in our congressional district. One that I want to share with you is Wheatland tube. And when we were dealing with this issue several years ago, the cost of tubing coming to the United States when it landed on the shores of our country was the same as the raw material costs of Wheatland tube here in the United States. There is no way our companies, there's no way that our workers are going to be able to compete with this kind of unfair subsidy that's coming from China. And I think this brings some honesty and accountability to that. I'm glad we're doing this in a bipartisan way. This is something that's important. And the amount of investment that will come from around the world back to the United States would be an economic stimulus package in and of itself.
This is about the basic right of American workers and businesses to compete on a level playing field. By keeping the value of its currency low against the dollar, China makes the price of our exports low and makes our exports expensive. This hurts Americans' goods in every market as we compete against artificially cheap Chinese exports.
First of all, it's time to have fair trade in this country. It's time for other countries to play by the rules. We've had enough of this. We are losing jobs because other countries cheat, and it's got to stop. Our bill would take away the requirement to have intent in terms of currency manipulation. We want to talk about effect. The bottom line effect is we are losing jobs. Our country's lost over 5.2 million manufacturing jobs in the last 8 years. Those are good paying, middle-class jobs with health care and benefits, companies doing the right thing. We're in the middle of a health care debate right now where we're asking companies to provide health care. These folks provide health care and benefits and have created the middle class of this country.
We're proud of American manufacturing and its long history of innovation, high quality, and great production. We're proud of all of our workers. We're proud of our inventors, our engineers, and everyone else who's part of this long chain of making great American products. Over the years, we've competed and we will continue to compete with products made in any country in the world. But we want that to be done fairly. When other countries play by the rules, we can compete and win. But when countries do not play by the rules, when there is no fairness, when they cheat, when they make inferior products or break the rules, it is absolutely the time for our government to step in and enforce the rules.
Our members are responsible for creating the most successful corporations on the planet. They take great pride in their work and they can compete with anyone in the world. But despite their craftsmanship, their dedication, and their high productivity, they are facing a pandemic that has already weakened our country's economic health. We urge every member of Congress to support the Currency Reform for Fair Trade Act of 2009. And I'm proud to be here with the representatives from my home state of Ohio and Senator Bunning and Congressman Murphy from Pennsylvania, who have taken such a courageous lead on this issue, and joining Senator Debbie Stabenow to bring this to the forefront.
I appear here this afternoon to provide the endorsement of the Committee on Pipe and Tube Imports, also known as CPTI, and our members who manufacture a variety of steel, carbon, and stainless pipe, tube, and fitting products. The CPTI is comprised of companies who today employ over 25,000 workers across the country in 28 different states. Our industry and its workers support the reintroduction of the Currency Reform for Fair Trade Act because we believe that this legislation is essential to end the massive trade deficit that the U.S. has with China. We will work with this Congress throughout the 111th session to send a strong message to the administration that real reform must take place in order to provide equity for American jobs and workers. Thank you.